One day after Cormani McClain, one day after Cormani McClain hits the transfer portal, Coach Prime and the Buffaloes are taking some heat on the recruiting practices. Let's talk about it and whether it's fair or not after the bumper. Stay tuned. What is going on, everybody? What is going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYr, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, notification bell because we upload all the time. Now, as we know, Colorado is transitioning into the Big 12. Coach Prime and his team are looking to improve upon the 4-8 record last year. They're trying to get guys drafted very high. They need to do better, and I think they will do better in the Big 12 conference, which is weaker than the Pac-12 conference they're coming from. Nonetheless, there's been a lot of defections via the portal, the biggest one being Cormani McClain, but there will be some significant additions via the portal to Colorado post-spring. Like, that's just how it works. Teams get a bunch of portal guys there in December. They go through spring workouts. They go through spring practice. Then they realize some of those guys realize I'm not on the 1 or the 2 deep. And I know my team, my school is going to go portal diving again. I want to get out so that way I can find a place where I can play or a place that just fits me better. Even if it was pegged to be a starter, I just want a place that fits me better. And that's what is currently happening all across the country. It's not just happening in Colorado. But what is unique to Colorado is some of their recruiting practices, how they're kind of going about it. So Shilo Sanders posted on this message on his Instagram page. I'm going to show you a screenshot of it. Now, this was on Shiloh's Instagram page. As you see, is the official Shilo Sanders page. It says, defensive transfers, DM me. Offensive transfers, DM at Shedeur. And in the quotations, it says, this is not last chance you. So take with that whatever you want. Take whatever you want from that. Because it is interesting. I'm not going to act like it's interesting. And it's uniquely Colorado. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's interesting because it's unique to them. They're the only ones with, players on their team this high profile. They're the only ones with 2 players on their team, a high profile coach, and then he has 2 players who are his sons, and then a third son who runs all the social medias. So it's unique to them. Nonetheless, or to say the least, this was looked down upon by many members of the college football media and people just associated with college football. Now, Bud Elliott, well-respected reporter, college football reporter. This is what he had to say. He said, interesting strategy following today's liquidation of last year's Louis. Now, if you don't remember, last year, Coach Prime, his first day on the job, went into his press conference at the time, which was his current team, and said, some of y'all gonna have to jump into the portal because I'm bringing my luggage and it's Louis, talking about the players he was going to bring in. So that's what Bud Elliott had to say, but he was not the only one. I liked a few of these tweets because I wanted to be able to show you. Jeff Schwartz, another respected media member, said unserious program. That's just funny. I'm just be honest. Like, him just putting unserious program is just funny to me. I don't know. I just thought that was just hilarious. Jeff Schwartz, very well-respected, media member. He mainly covers the NFL, but I just thought that was funny. And if you just go under these tweets, you'll see people agreeing with Schwartz, but then people going at Schwartz, saying essentially, you don't know what you're talking about. And there were other tweets, defending Colorado. I think I liked one of them. This was just a random person on Twitter. Said, I can't believe this is real. From the top down, Deion and his staff have been ridiculously lazy when it comes to recruiting. Recruiting staffers asking guys to drop film in their replies. Head coaches' kids telling portal kids to DM them. This isn't how a serious program operates. Now, I want to focus on this. I want to focus on this tweet right here because this tweet is probably because it actually gives like the most detail. Now, this tweet is the most interesting, whether good, bad, or indifferent. This is the most interesting. Why? because they have a point, somewhat of a point. You wouldn't see this happening at Georgia. You wouldn't see this happening in Alabama. You wouldn't see this happening at LSU, Clemson, Notre Dame, USC. Just pick your Ohio State, Michigan. Like, these type of things don't happen there. Now, once again, there's a lot of things that happens at those programs, or that a lot of things that happen in Colorado that would happen at those programs. And for those programs, once again, this type of situation is unique to Colorado, and essentially Colorado only, because they're the only one with a celebrity head coach. They're the only one with a Pro Football Hall of Famer, College Football Hall of Famer as a head coach, who happens to have two sons on the team. And they're one of the few programs that really maximizes, goes full throttle into social media. Pause. At the same time, I do think there are some things that shouldn't happen. Like, some things that happen at Colorado. Like, I don't think this should happen. I'm gonna just be honest. I don't think they're not a serious program because they're doing this. I also don't think this is the best recruiting practice. Personally, I don't. That doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. That's just what I think. And it's not things you see at those programs. At the programs that are winning championships, you don't see recruiting coordinators telling you to drop your film down below. You don't see players on the team telling you to DM them or DM the quarterback. You just don't see those things. Those schools have big time budgets. Those schools are very serious. Those schools also don't allow cameras into their locker room, cameras into their practices very often, as much as Colorado does. They do it to certain restrictions. Don't seem like there's any restrictions to Colorado. I've seen, Coach Prime have a conversation with Nate Robinson's son. And if you don't know Nate Robinson, former NBA player, I think he won a dunk contest 3 times. His son goes to Colorado on a football scholarship. And Nate is currently, prayers to Nate Robinson. He's currently going through, what is it called? For kidney failure. He's going through kidney failure, and he has dialysis, and he's struggling. And Nate has come out and talked about his struggle. And Coach Prime, or his media team, recorded a conversation. Now, they edited it heavily, but they recorded him calling Nate's son over to him. Those are things you just won't see from Alabama, LSU, Washington, whatever, Clemson, all of these different big time programs. So certain things are unique to them. I wouldn't call it an unserious program, but I could also see where people are coming from, because the teams that are winning championships aren't doing these type of things. The teams that are winning championships aren't walking around with cameras every day. And to some people, they believe having all those cameras and all that stuff is a distraction. Prime believes that it's exposure. It's showing how fun it can be at Colorado. And for some players, it is just that. It's exposure. It's a chance to get in front of millions of people that you may not have gotten a chance to get in front of. For others, it may be a distraction. For others, the lights may be too bright. For others, it may be doing too much when our goal is supposed to be winning games and winning championships. So that is where the backlash is coming from. Because these people, whether it's the reporters or the fans that are criticizing Colorado for this type of thing, Shilo putting it out there, and he's not doing that unauthorized. He's been allowed to say, if you're a defensive transfer, DM me. If you're an offensive transfer, DM Shedeur. Like, he's not doing that because nobody told him he couldn't. He was allowed to do that. And like I said, that's just not how most winning high-profile programs are ran. It's just not. And with Colorado coming off a 4-8 season and having high-level high-level players transferring out, whether it's Cormani McClain or whoever, coming off a 4-win season, that will draw you skepticism. That will draw you criticism. That will draw the ire of people that want to see you fail anyway. A lot of these folks want to see them fail anyway. It's going to bring those folks out of the woodwork, right, wrong, or indifferent. It's going to happen. It's going to be interesting to see who they're able to bring in during this next transfer portal window, post-spring portal, guys, who they're able to bring in and how successful their season is going to be in the fall. Like I said, Cormani McClain is highly touted. A lot of people are going to come after him. And Colorado allowed him to walk out the door, maybe even pushed him out the door. And it might have been for a good use. I mean, Deion did not have high praise for Cormani all of last year, and obviously it carried over into this spring. So people are going to be watching closely what he does at his next stop. and also the players that they're able to bring in during this current transfer portal window. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Shilo, Shedeur, and Coach Prime bashed over their recruiting tactics. My name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. This is the Victor Formation Sports Show right here on Jeff Lightsy Jr. YouTube, Facebook, wherever you get your content. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because I upload all the time. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Peace.